Hello, and welcome to our presentation on the Collaborative Art Archive, otherwise known as Carda. I am happy to introduce our program team who will be speaking today to give you a bit more context and background on this program. I'm Donovan, and I'm the Senior Program Manager for Community Programs at the Internet Archive.
My name is Madeline Carruthers, and I am a program officer working on the community programs team with Lori at the Internet Archive.
And I'm Sumitra Duncan. I'm head of the web archiving program at the New York Art Resources Consortium, or NYARC, which consists of the libraries and archives of the Brooklyn Museum and the Museum of Modern Art and the Frick Art Reference Library of the Frick Collection in New York City. We can go to the next slide. So today we'll be introducing Carda. This project utilizes the resources and professional expertise from a collaborative entity of arts and cultural heritage institutions in order to build scalable collections of archived web-based content related to art history and contemporary art practice. Carda originated from a 2018 IMLS National Forum grant called Advancing Art Libraries and Curated Web Archives, which was awarded to the Internet Archive and NYARC. This prior IMLS grant allowed us to begin outreach and conduct environmental scans, including bringing together art librarians from across North America for planning discussions based on their recognition of the advantages and scalability of a collaborative collecting model. The Internet Archive and NYARC are fortunate to have received a couple of grants to support this partnership and collaboration, which we were awarded last year by the NEH and the IMLS, and launched the project officially in August of 2021. This grant funding has allowed us to begin formalizing the collaborative member group and begin growing the Carda collections. It includes funding to build an access portal and data sets and other methods for promoting use. While this is our current source of funding, the project leaders and Carda community will be looking for more funding opportunities, as well as forming a post-grant sustainability plan to keep this project ongoing well after the grant period ends. Next slide. When the project launched in August, we had 24 arts organizations on board from the initial IMLS grant and the following project planning period. Since the launch, we have been accepting new member organizations on a rolling basis. We currently have 34 participating organizations contributing to Carda, and they're all listed here on the slide. Our membership includes a range of organization types and sizes, from smaller nonprofit art libraries and regional museums to academic institutions and national arts organizations. It also has a geographic range throughout the United States and Canada, and we're continually expanding our reach to include more member organizations that will enrich the collections from their subject expertise and to fill in regional gaps. Next slide. The goals of Carta are to promote access to born digital art reference and research materials, enable new types of scholarly use for art-related resources, and ensure that the art historical record of the 21st century is readily accessible far into the future. We have four main areas of goals and deliverables for the initiative. The first one being community formation and growth, and this includes member recruitment, collaborative meetings and discussions, and then collection building, which involves creating these collections and preserving their content, and also adding metadata to the collections. Facilitating research and access methods, including building an access portal, metadata integrations with external systems, datathons, and promotion of use with end users and researchers, and sustainability promotion and evaluation, which involves publicizing the access portal and research use cases, as well as formalizing a post-grant sustainability plan and reviewing metrics for collections and use, and additionally filling gaps wherever appropriate. Our first phases of the project have focused on community formation and growth and collection building, and we'll continue to work in these areas along with facilitating research and access methods with an access portal built out later this year, and then formalizing our post-grant sustainability plan. Thanks, I'll pass things over to Lori now.
Thanks, Sumitra. The Internet Archive's role in achieving the objectives of the program include the provision of staffing and services, including the work of Madeline, our Carta program officer, who you'll hear from next, and myself, the community programs manager, who facilitate the flow of communication amongst the cohort, perform the actual web archiving from collecting nominations to running crawls to performing quality assurance work, And we also manage the completion of the technical work for the Carta project areas. That technical work, including building an access portal, generating research data sets, and facilitating metadata integrations, will be completed by IA engineering staff. We're also providing the Archive It account, including the managed crawling services mentioned above, as well as long-term hosting for those research data sets and the access portal. Next slide. Carta member institutions provide their expertise in a number of ways, and the level of their participation is flexible based on their availability and professional development goals of the individuals representing those institutions. At minimum, member libraries nominate websites on relevant topics and contribute minimum metadata for those nominations. Those who have more time to contribute to Carta may work on overall metadata standardization and enhancements, identifying researchers and end users for focus groups, datathons, and publications, promotion of Carta efforts via conference presentations. The program team and several program members recently presented at the Art Libraries Society of North America's annual conference, as well as through blog posts and social media, and building support and use cases through internal advocacy. As the grant period wraps up, we will also encourage all members to provide program feedback and contribute to sustainability work to ensure that this program continues to grow and remains responsive to member needs over time. Next slide. The four major areas for member contribution above and beyond nominations correspond to the four active subcommittees within Carta. Members are welcome to join the subcommittee work on a rolling and voluntary basis to contribute to specific areas of project work. So far, subcommittee members have met on a quarterly basis to contribute to discussions, brainstorming, and collaborative activities. There are also opportunities for asynchronous collaboration and discussion through dedicated Slack channels to propel this work. The subcommittees are listed on this slide along with their current activities to give a sense of the collaborations in these individual areas. And now I'm going to pass things over to Madeline in order to describe a little bit more about how the work is going thus far.
Thanks, Lori. As Lori mentioned, with member contributions, Carta members contribute to the growth of our collections through regular website nominations. And I'll start by giving a brief description of this workflow here. Website nominations are submitted through an online form, which is integrated into our shared Google folder and Slack workspace to instantly notify the rest of the collaborative group. Since all nominations are public to the full group, Carta members can easily track the collection stats and keep an eye on any missing gaps in collection topics or subject areas. We have specific fields on the nomination form that will flag the website if it is urgent or at risk. And for any of these at-risk websites, we typically start a web crawl on the same day or according to any additional instructions provided by the nominator. And this is to make sure that we capture any websites before they're taken offline. If a website is not considered at risk or urgent, it will be included in the quarterly batch for web crawling. And after that crawling is completed, we handle QA to ensure that the websites are captured to the best of their ability or assisted with additional scoping for future crawls. Finally, once an archived website is completed, it will be included in the public web collection with basic metadata provided on the nomination form, including title and an optional field for contributor if the nominating organization would like to be publicly listed. We also have some additional new metadata fields on the form, including creator, publisher, description, and subject to complete these records within the public collections. And the form also includes a field for preferred crawl frequencies so that we can contribute to capture new and updated content on the website, typically on a quarterly or annual basis. Our previous work from the 2018 IMLS grant allowed us to identify the following collection topics for Carda, with one recent update. Materials-based art is at the bottom of this list and italicized because this topic is currently being phased out and its collection items will be integrated into the other collections. We're very grateful for the expertise of a few member organizations that specialize within this area and reached the consensus with the collection development subcommittee that these collection items would be better organized within other collection areas rather than singled out. Moving forward, Carda has 8 collection topics from art criticism to auction houses. And I would like to note that the collection descriptions listed here were drafted and edited by our collection development subcommittee. In addition to describing our collection topics, I wanted to visually show the current distribution of nominated websites and their collection areas. As you can see here, the current majority of our websites fall under arts organizations and artist websites, with art fairs and events as a close third. These collection areas also have a significant number of at-risk websites, from smaller arts organizations and artists that are no longer maintaining their websites, especially after the challenges the COVID-19 pandemic has surfaced. And just a small note here that this chart still includes the 11 collection items for materials-based art, and these are being relocated to the other collection topics with notice to the website nominators about this change. Recent global events and the COVID-19 pandemic have made significant impacts on arts communities and organizations, which face especially challenging obstacles in operations, budgets, and staffing. Carda members have been working to identify at-risk organizations and preserve their web content to ensure a more comprehensive record of 21st century art history before they disappear off the live web. We have included a couple of examples here that highlight the urgency of web archiving for global arts communities. On the left, we've included the Carta capture of the Ivan Keith Museum website from the Ukraine, which was nominated and captured the same day that the museum was destroyed in February of this year. And shortly after this capture was taken on the left, you can see that the museum website was taken offline. On the right, we have a capture from the Canadian art website, which was an influential platform for arts and culture in Canada for nearly 40 years. And they ceased operations late last year due to revenue loss during the COVID-19 pandemic. Through the collaborative collecting model and our shared nominations and resources, Carda is able to quickly respond to urgent collecting efforts and capture these at-risk arts websites before they're taken off the web. Thank you for listening to our presentation about the Collaborative Art Archive, or Carda. We've listed a few links here to learn more about Carda or get involved. We have a Carda webpage where you can find more information about Carda goals and activities, and that's the bit.ly link with Carda project. If you are a part of an arts organization or art library, please feel free to apply to Carda as a member organization using the other link with Join Carda. We've also listed all of our contact information here if you would like to get in touch directly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.